So, in this super noisy digital world we're all living in, does that like old school direct communication still hold any real power? Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. We're looking at proven email strategies, the kind that build really solid, engaged lists, the goal, real business growth, maybe even that six-figure success people talk about.
Yeah, and that's really our mission for you today. We got this fantastic guide on email marketing, and we're going to pull out the absolute best bits, the real nuggets of wisdom. Think of it as your shortcut, to understanding why email, even with everything else going on, is still so vital for that personal touch, for those actual one-on-one conversations that build real connections.
It's interesting, isn't it? This guide we're looking at, it tackles something right off the bat that I think a lot of us feel, that imposter syndrome. When you're just starting an email list, like, who am I to do this? But the guide makes such a powerful point. Everyone starts at zero. And the real insight, I think, is that just starting, even if it feels messy, it kind of breaks that paralysis. You shift from just doubting to actually doing. It's like a mental win before you even get tactical.
Yeah.
We'll definitely lay out the actionable steps from the guide to help you push past that and, get things moving effectively.
Exactly. And building on that, a really core idea in the material is that your email subscribers, they're not all the same. They find you in different ways, right? Maybe from your blog, maybe a podcast, social media. It's diverse. And because they come from different places, that really highlights why you need that personalized outreach, like right from the beginning. You're not
Sure.
just shouting into the void. You're trying to build individual relationships.
That makes total sense, the diverse origins thing. And it naturally leads into some, well, critical first steps the guide lays out. First one, picking the right email service provider, the ESP.
Mhm.
It's got to fit your specific business. And the guide doesn't just gloss over this. The author's really specific, says they've personally used GetResponse for like over 10 years
Oh.
and highly recommends it. Even mentions a 30-day free trial. I mean, sticking with something for a decade, this is a lot about reliability, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a strong endorsement. And what's really interesting is the advice to get basic automation set up, like immediately.
Yeah.
Day one stuff. We're talking the absolute essentials here: purchase confirmations, cart abandonment emails. These aren't just, optional extras. They're fundamental for building trust right away. And maybe more importantly, they set the tone for the whole customer journey.
Yeah.
You're potentially rescuing lost sales, turning maybe a one-time buyer into someone who sticks around. It's foundational.
And here's a strategy I really like. Before you even think about sending to like the whole world, the guide suggests emailing your friends first. And it's not just for ego boosting, right? It's about building your own confidence and refining your message in a safe space. It gives you a real forgiving audience, helps you find your writing voice, test out engagement ideas, get that crucial early feedback on whether your offer actually makes sense before you go wide.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit. If the goal is really fast list growth, the material is pretty clear on this one. Paid advertising. It's usually the most consistent way to build quickly. Now, yeah, I mean, spending some money, there's an investment, but the guide makes a good point. Even a, fairly modest budget can actually work surprisingly well if you're smart about it.
Right. And this is where it gets really strategic, doesn't it? The paid ads part. What actually makes them work, according to this guide? You absolutely need a compelling offer. And they break it down really nicely. 5 key things your offer needs. It's got to be simple, specific. It must solve a real pain point. And then you need those elements of like credibility and scarcity mixed in. Those are basically your essential ingredients. The guide sort of implies that if you miss even one, your results could really tank.
Which brings up the whole platform question.
Mm.
Where do you actually run these ads? The advice is pretty sensible. Pick the platform that fits your business best. But here's the crucial bit. Focus on mastering one platform first. Don't try to be everywhere at once. They give an example, like say you have a $1,000 budget. Trying to split that across Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, whatever, it just dilutes everything. Your money, your focus, your learning. You end up not getting good results anywhere. Because, I mean, each platform is its own beast, right? Different ads, different targeting, different bidding. Trying to juggle them all with limited cash often just leads to frustration, not success.
Yeah, that deep dive on mastering one platform really resonates. It makes perfect sense. And the author points out, too, that different platforms need different approaches, right? Like Facebook ads. Apparently super effective for a lot of businesses, kind of a go-to maybe. But if you're looking at, say, YouTube or others, you might need to tweak things more. Different types of ads, maybe different messaging to really get them working. It's definitely not one size fits all. Okay, so paid ads are great for speed. The guide definitely pushes that, but it also totally gets that, hey, not everyone has that budget, especially when you're just starting out. So Good news, it also lays out a pretty extensive list of free ways to build your list, without spending any cash.
That's right. Yeah, 10 free methods. And it's useful to think about the why behind each one, the strategy. So first, engaging blog content. Basically, write stuff that's so good people want to subscribe to get more, value driven. Second, leverage your social media. Share good stuff there consistently, but always include a clear call to action. Hey, subscribe to the newsletter. Channel that existing audience. Third, get active in relevant Facebook groups. But the key here is value first, right? Don't just spam links. Engage, help people, then maybe gently suggest your list for more depth. Fourth, super simple, often missed, add a subscribe link to your email signature. Every single email you send becomes a tiny growth engine. Passive, but it adds up. Fifth, industry forums. Same idea as Facebook groups, really. Join discussions, show your expertise, build credibility, then put the link in your profile or signature. Be the expert worth following. Sixth, webinars. Host them yourself, maybe partner up. Great way to collect emails because attendees are already interested in your topic. Seventh, collaborations. Partner with other businesses. Cross-promote each other's lists. You tap into their trusted audience, they tap into yours. Win-win. Eighth, offer a free tool or maybe a little app, something useful that needs an email address to access. Clear value exchange there. Ninth, got a podcast? Great. Remind your listeners to subscribe to your email updates. They already like hearing from you. And 10th, videos. Create video content and always put those subscription links right there in the description. Use that visual medium.
Wow, that's quite a list. And the takeaway, reading between the lines, it's not just about picking one, is it? The guide seems really clear. Mixing and matching these free methods consistently is what really builds that strong, engaged list over time without needing a big budget. It's about the combined effort, the synergy.
Exactly. So if we sort of pull it all together, this deep dive really shows that good email marketing boils down to a few key things. First, getting over those initial self-doubts. Then picking the right tools strategically for your business. Engaging that first small audience, like your friends, to really hone your message. And then choosing the right mix of growth strategies, paid, free, or probably both. And that advice about mastering one platform, that really speaks to being efficient, focusing your resources smartly. Ultimately, yeah, the guide's conclusion feels spot on. Email is still just incredibly powerful for that personal connection, and yes, for real business growth.
Definitely. And maybe as a final thought for you, as you're thinking about your own email list, starting it or growing it, consider going beyond just the subscriber count. The guide puts so much weight on personal engagement. So what if you focus less on just the size of the list and more on the depth of connection, the actual community feel you can build email by email? How could really leaning into that human element, that one-to-one potential, maybe create something more valuable, more lasting than just business growth in your corner of the digital world? Something to think about.